Hello everyone, this video is being prepared to show you how to get to the long essay question outline and what you will do with it once you get to it. So in the classwork section, most recently posted is the long essay outline. It looks similar to many other assignments where you have readings that go along with a document that all students have a copy of. When you open that document, you will see something that looks like this. And what I'm doing here, or having you do, is break down the difference between the Chinese states and the European states that go along with the prompt from the long essay question that we'll be working on. Examples of Chinese states during this period were the Tang and Song dynasties. European states would include France, England, and the Holy Roman Empire. You have chapter readings. Again, those are the links that go along with this assignment. Those chapter readings are there to help you find information. I've also included this link here. When you open it, it'll be a Google Doc that also has some information about the European states as well. So you're breaking down these Chinese states, you're breaking down internal and external factors. And the magic number I have proposed here is 3. I want you to come up with 3 examples. The more examples you have at your disposal, the better off you will be to have supporting evidence to sustain and support the argument you're going to make in your thesis when you write this essay. Remember external factors, things that were going on inside of China or inside of Europe at the time. Think about the economy, the social hierarchies, how the government was functioning, things of that nature. External factors would be what was happening on the periphery of those empires, meaning on the outside the boundaries. Where did they expand to, or who were they threatened by during these time periods? As far as administrative institutions, again, remember that part of the language was how do these internal and external factors contribute to or impact administrative institutions and the centralization of power. So when you're thinking about administrative institutions, you're talking about the management of the affairs of an organization. In this particular case, the organization would have been the state itself, whether it was in China or Europe. So thinking about what were the duties of the people that ran the show? Who were the people who administered to the organization? How did they conduct themselves as far as governing? So again, come up with 3 examples of both in China and in Europe. And then as far as centralized power, the power was exerted or coordinated by a political executive, or in other words, universal or central authority, to which everybody else answered to that authority, whether they be smaller federal states, local authorities, or even smaller units within the empire itself, or the dynasty in the case of China. So again, think of examples of how that power was exerted and try to come up with 3. I've listed for you, we talked about this last class, possible arguments that you would make as far as a thesis statement, that you may say something like internal factors had greater impact on administrative institutions and the centralization of power than external factors. And then you would give examples for both China and Europe. Or you could say the opposite, that it was external factors that had the greater impact. And again, you'd be giving examples for both China and Europe. Or another tack you could take was to say that internal and external factors had a greater influence on administrative institutions and centralization of power in China than in Europe. Or you could say the opposite, that the same thing was greater in Europe than in China. So I hope this makes sense. It's just a quick overview of what we will be working on, just so you have a sense of what this document means. You're basically using this document to organize information that's going to help you in the long run to establish your thesis statement, and then your supporting paragraphs that will work toward convincing your reader that your argument is sound because you have evidence to support it.